What's up, everyone? Today we're diving into something wild, real near-death experiences. I asked Reddit for their most unbelievable stories, and the responses were mind-blowing. These aren't just movie moments, they're real, raw, and intense. We're about to explore what it feels like to be right on the edge, and somehow survive. These stories are a huge reminder. Life is fragile, and every second counts. We've got car crashes, drownings, medical emergencies, 15 stories of survival. Some will give you chills, all will make you think. Let's get into it. 15 times people cheated death.
Our first story is a total mind bender. Someone was driving, saw a massive truck coming straight at them, and then nothing. No memory of the crash, no pain, just a blank. They woke up in a hospital surrounded by machines with no idea how they got there. The doctors explained the crash, the injuries, and how lucky they were. But for them, it was like hearing about someone else's life. Their mind erased the trauma, leaving only physical scars. It's wild how the brain can just delete the worst moments. They had to piece together their own story from others, from a truck to a hospital bed with a black hole in between. That's how unpredictable these experiences can be.
Next up, a head-on collision with a semi-truck. No tunnel, no light, just blackness. Then a strange white-gray haze. No pain, just a sense of floating in emptiness. Their body was wrecked, but in that haze, there was nothing. No fear, no thoughts. It was like their consciousness was disconnected, drifting in limbo. Waking up in the hospital, the pain hit all at once. But for a moment, they were beyond pain, in a silent void. Maybe that's the brain's way of protecting us. From violent crash to a quiet haze, what lies on the other side of consciousness? Sometimes it's just nothingness, chilling.
This one's a straight-up time skip. They remember being outside, then instantly waking up in a hospital bed. No transition, no dream, just a split second. The nurse told them they'd been in a coma for 2 weeks. 14 days gone, just like that. For them, it was a blink. For everyone else, it was endless waiting. The world kept spinning, but their timeline just jumped ahead. It's terrifying how time can just vanish. No memory of the coma just before and after, like falling asleep and waking up in a different life. The loss of control is what makes it so unsettling. 2 weeks erased in an instant. Here's a story where memory is all about the senses. They don't remember seeing the crash, no visuals at all. What stuck was the feeling of impact and, most of all, a smell. Maybe gasoline, burning rubber, or airbags. It's impossible to describe, but unforgettable. That scent triggers flashbacks years later. The brain prioritized feeling and smell over sight. Sometimes trauma is stored in the strangest ways. For some, it's a void. For others, it's a smell that never fades. Near-death isn't just one thing. It's a personal sensory event. The mind remembers what it can handle.
This one is chilling in its simplicity. They drowned, no dramatic struggle, no life flashing before their eyes. One moment, they were fighting. The next, everything went black. No transition, just a switch flipped off. No memory of being rescued, just a blackout until waking up. Death wasn't a journey, just instant nothingness. The brain, deprived of oxygen, simply shuts down. Sometimes the end isn't dramatic, it's silent and sudden. That's what makes it so unsettling, just a void.
Another water story. This time, it's all panic and fight. Caught in a river's current, they struggled for air, lungs burning. Every time they surfaced, the current pulled them back. Exhausted, they started to give up, until a hand grabbed them. Their cousin jumped in and pulled them to safety. Relief and terror mixed as they coughed up water on the riverbank. Sometimes, survival depends on someone else's bravery. Nature's power is terrifying, but so is human connection. A fun day turned into a life or death struggle. One act of courage changed everything.
This one's straight out of a medical drama. Routine procedure, but they were allergic to the anesthetic. No one knew. They died on the table, revived, then died again when more anesthetic was needed. Both times, the medical team brought them back. The wildest part? They remember nothing. For them, it was just going to sleep and waking up groggy. Only later did doctors explain they'd technically died twice. The mind didn't record the trauma, just peaceful sleep. Sometimes you cheat death and never even know it. The body fights while the mind rests. This story is about a slow, creeping danger, severe anemia. They felt overwhelming exhaustion, fighting to stay awake. As they got weaker, fear faded into profound peace. It felt warm, comforting, like it was okay to let go. The struggle was replaced by calm acceptance. They were found just in time and rushed to the hospital. The peace vanished with medical intervention, but the memory stayed. Sometimes the brink of death is strangely serene. The body's final moments can be peaceful, not terrifying. They survived, but never forgot that calm. What does it feel like to bleed to death? This person found out. Tunnel vision closed in, then everything went black. No pain, just floating in a painless void. They were aware, but detached from their body. Realizing, this is dying, they felt no fear. It was calm, quiet, and oddly peaceful. They were saved, and pain returned with consciousness. Facing death changed their perspective forever. The process itself wasn't terrifying, just a quiet shutdown. Sometimes, death is less dramatic than we imagine. Acceptance can be the final feeling.
Here's a classic, a skater's horrific accident. They fell, fractured their skull, and should have died. Their memory is a blank, just vague flashes, nothing concrete. Friends and paramedics filled in the story. For them, it was like learning trivia about themselves. I almost died. The trauma was real, but the memory was gone. Amnesia protected them from reliving the worst moment. They live with the consequences, but not the memory. Sometimes, forgetting is a strange blessing.
Similar story, but with a twist. A kid obsessed with BMX. They crashed hard, memory cutting out midair. Woke up in a hospital, confused and in pain. Their heart had stopped. They flatlined and were brought back. No memory of dying, just a time skip. One moment flying, the next in a hospital bed. Processing that as a kid is unimaginable. They crossed the ultimate line and can't remember it. It's a story they tell, but not one they truly remember. Sometimes, survival is just a missing chapter.
A new mother, just after a C-section, suddenly couldn't breathe. Panic set in as her body failed, lungs filling with fluid, heart struggling. The last memory chaos in the hospital, desperate for air. Then nothing, until waking up intubated. Her heart had failed, she'd gone into cardiac arrest. The moment of joy turned into a fight for survival. The contrast is brutal, life and death in the same room. She survived thanks to a skilled medical team. Sometimes, the line between life and death is razor thin. Survival can come down to seconds and expertise.
Childhood trauma, this one's heartbreaking. After a tonsillectomy, a child woke up bleeding badly. Their mum panicked, but the child felt calm, comforting her instead. Even as they nearly died, their instinct was to protect their mum. Surgeons saved them, but the memory of that calmness and love stayed. Looking back, it's haunting and profound. Even on the brink, love can be the strongest instinct. Sometimes a child's peace is the most powerful thing. Final story. An insane random accident. A worker's harness got snagged by a truck, dragging them down the street. In the chaos, a strange calm washed over. They accepted death. But the harness snapped, and they survived, battered but alive. The truck driver never even noticed. From normal day to near death to miracle survival in seconds. Sometimes it's pure luck which saves you. Survival can hinge on a single broken strap. Life can change in an instant.
That's 15 people who stared death in the face and survived. These stories show there's no single way to face the end. They're a powerful reminder of how fragile life is. 1 second, everything's normal. The next, you're fighting for your life. Don't take your time for granted. Cherish every moment. If you've had a close call, share your story in the comments. Let's talk about these profound moments together. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.